So a quick review. We're in chapter 19, the bottom of page 79. Chapter 19. So, we discussed before that when it comes to commandments, God, as a Beinoni, how does a Beinoni do the commandment? He says, just do it. Just like Nike. Do it. That's what a Beinoni. Beinoni knows he's going to do all the commandments all the time. But then, the Alter Rebbe says, it's going to be very difficult for you if you're not going to have your intellect and emotions involved. So how do you get intellect and emotions? He says, you meditate. And then he tells me, even though you meditate, you might not have emotions in your heart. Don't worry. Since it's hidden in your heart, somewhere deep inside, I'm going to consider it as if you're doing the commandment through emotions. That's what we learned. But after a while, you come to God, you say, look, but it's not happening. I mean, I have the emotions, I contemplate and everything, and I still sin constantly. What can I do about that? So God said, first of all, you should continue to contemplate. But besides that, I'm going to teach you something else. The Alter Rebbe says, each and every one of us is inherited from our forefathers a hidden love of God in his heart. And let me tell you something about it. He's going to tell us something about it for 4 or 5 chapters. And then 2 chapters is going to tell us how to use it in order to become a Beinoni. But before he even tells us how to become a Beinoni, he's going to explain to us what do we have. What did we inherit? What is the thing? So we started that on chapter 18. We're going to continue on chapter 19, understanding this hidden love that every Jew has to God. So let's start. Perek Yutet, chapter Yutet. ולתוספת ביאור, to explain this a little bit deeper, צריך לבאר היטב, we need to explain first, מה שכתוב, נר השם נשמת אדם. It says that the candle of God is the soul of man. Probably heard it before. It's a famous saying. Now, what does that mean? The candle of God is the soul of man. Perush, it means, שישראל הקרויים אדם, that the Jewish people that are called Adam, because they're אדמה לעליון, they're similar to God, נשמתם היא למשל כאור הנר שמתנענע תמיד. Their soul is like the candle that continuously is moving. למעלה בטבעו, it wants to go up by nature, מפני שאור האש, because the light of the fire, חפץ בטבע, he wants with his nature, להיפרד מהפתילה, to be disattached from the wick, ולהידבק בשורשו למעלה ביסוד האש, and to be stuck with his root up there in the element of fire. Let's say it in regular words over here. What is he talking about? God created everything in this universe. And he created everything in the universe with the desire to be. Everything that God created wants to be. It wants to exist. It wants to be. Everything. Take a dog. A dog, neshama of a dog wants to be. Take a plant. A plant wants to exist. Yeah, wants to be. Take a rock. A rock also wants. Yeah, he wants to be. He wants to exist. You can see constantly, earth goes into water, the oceans try to take away the earth. Everything wants to take over and exist forever and ever and ever and ever. Everything in this world.
Except for depressed people.
They also want to be. They don't want a depression, but they want to be. And the reason, how do we know they want to be? They don't commit suicide usually. Yeah, yeah, they want to be. Everything wants to be. Maybe they don't like the pain, but you ask them, if I take the pain, do you want to be? Of course. Everything wants to exist. בחרת בחיים, everything wants to exist. Except we see there is one thing in nature that doesn't want to exist. It doesn't want to be. What's this one thing in nature that we see within nature? There is one thing. Everything natural wants to exist except one thing. That thing is fire. Fire is constantly seeking not to be. What does it mean? It wants to go back to where its root comes from. Well, Kabbalistic idea, it wants to go back under the orbit of the moon. Don't talk in the words of Kabbalah. It wants to go back to its true source. Yeah, whatever the source of fire is, it wants to be attached to it. That's why it's continuously going up and elevated. But if you tell fire, what are you doing? If I let you go up, if I let you transfer, you're going to cease being fire. You're going to be heat. You're going to be light. But you're not going to be fire. You, as an entity of fire, is not going to exist. And what does the fire tells you? What do you want me to do? That's my nature. Everything in the world was created that its nature wants to exist. I was created that my nature doesn't want to exist. Take it like this. Every mass in the world has gravity. It pulls other masses towards it. If you have a mass, I don't care how big or small is your mass, it attracts other masses, and other masses attract you. Why? Ask the question why, and the answer, what do you mean why? It's the nature that God put in nature. Everything that has mass attracts. If you ask fire, why do you want to go to your source you're not going to be? It tells you the same way you want to exist. You want to attract other things. I want to go. This is the nature that God put in me. So if you ask the animal soul, what do you want? What is the animal soul going to tell you?
To control.
I want to exist. I want to be. Therefore, give me lots of food. Give me lots of honor. Give me lots of money. You know, the more things I collect, it's easier for me to exist. That's my nature. Just like the nature of the stone, just like the nature of the cat, just like the nature of anything in this world. It wants to exist. That's my nature. I want to exist. If you ask the godly soul, what do you want? He says, I don't want to be. Godly soul tells you, I don't want to exist. I want to go back to where? To the source. But you tell him, if you go back to your source, you lose everything. You're not going to see, you're not going to think, you're not going to... When you come back to God, when your godly soul attaches itself back to God, you're going to become God again. You're not going to exist anymore. So why would you want to be it? So he doesn't answer you with logic, because there is no logic. He says, what do you mean why? That's the nature that God put in me. It's not my choice. It's not like I'm telling me, yes, it's worth it. No, it's not worth it. I'm still going to do it, because that's my nature. I don't have a choice. If I think about it, I'll tell you I don't want to. Yeah? But it's nothing to do with thinking. It's my nature that God imbued in me. That's what the godly soul says. We are on the third line, end of the line. ואף שעל ידי זה יחבא ולא יאיר כלום למטה, and if you let the godly soul go back to its source, it's going to be completely annihilated. It's not going to exist anymore. וגם למעלה בשורשו, and you say, but I'm going to live up there. It says, no, you're not going to live up there. You're going to become nothing up there. You can become one, unite with God. Again, there's not going to be you. It's going to be nothingness there. It's just godliness. יתבטל אורו במציאות בשורשו. You're not going to be. You're going to disappear. אף על פי כן, nevertheless, he's going to tell you, that's the way God made me. בכך הוא חפץ בטבעו. This is what I want in my nature. My nature wants it. And we're going to see later on, this is not just a saying. Jews throughout history, we're talking about non-religious Jews, that came up in them. This level, I don't want to be. כך נשמת האדם, this is the soul of man, וכך בחינת רוח ונפש חפצה, וכך בחינת רוח ונפש חפצה, and this is the aspect of the two levels of the soul, רוח ונפש, that's what they want, וחשקה בטבעה, and this is its desire, להיפרד ולצאת מן הגוף, to completely separate and not to be in the physical body, ולהידבק בשורשה ומקורה בהשם חיי החיים, and to attach to God. הגם שתהיה עין ואפס, even though when it attaches to God, it will lose its identity completely. ותתבטל שם במציאות לגמרי, it will become nothing. ולא יישאר מן המאומה, ממהותה ועצמותה הראשון, from its first, whatever it is. אף על פי כן, nevertheless, זה רצונה וחפצה בטבעה. This is its nature. It's not like she chooses it. It's not like she thought about it. Just like other objects, what they want to exist, the godly soul wants not to exist. Yes.
So if I pray to God for long life and good health, that's my animal soul praying, not my godly soul praying. Is that accurate?
Depends, but yes. According to your question, yes.
Crazy. I
Yes.
never thought of that.
Yes. The godly soul, it has one want. The want is to go back to God. It happens sometimes, I'll tell you where you a little bit have to refine. God told her to come to the physical world and to remain here and to do its job. So that's why it wants to be here, because it's doing God's job, but not that it really wants to be here. It wants to be there.
Yeah, because we need to do mitzvahs and we can't do it.
So that's right. So because of that, we can stay here. We want to. So a person can daven to God, but if you ask the neshama, what do you want? What's your nature? It will tell you, my nature is to be one with God. And you tell her, but if you be with one with God, you're not going to be a soul anymore. So that's my nature. You ask other things in nature, I want to exist. This thing wants not to exist. וטבע זה הוא שם המושאל, and this nature, this is a name, לכל דבר שאינו בבחינת טעם ודעת, to anything which is not logical. This is what nature is. If you ask the animal soul, why do you want to exist? It will laugh at you. It will tell you it's a stupid question. Why? That's the nature that God gave me. You ask iron, why do you want to be attracted to a magnet? The iron will laugh. It says, I don't want. That's my nature. My nature is, you put me next to a magnet, I get attracted. I don't want to be attracted to nature. It's a nature. That's my nature. It's nothing to do with reason. There's no logic behind it. It's not like the iron says, you know what, it's good for me to become attached to the magnet. No, that's the nature that God set me up in. Wood doesn't get attached to the magnet, and I do. גם כאן, הכוונה שרצון וחפץ זה בנפש, also over here, we're saying that the will and the desire of the soul אינו בבחינת טעם ודעת. It's not like the soul knows, understands why it wants to get attached to God, why it wants not to be. V'sechel musag. It's not like there's an understanding there. Umuvan. It's not like it understands it. Ela lemala me'adat. It's above logic. V'sechel musag. It's ultra logical. Call it. V'hamuvan. V'hi b'chinat chokhma shebenefesh sheba. This is in the aspect of chokhma in its soul. Or Ein Sof Baruch Hu, of Or Ein Sof Baruch Hu. For those who learn a little bit of Chassidus, when you ask intellect, do you want to go to a place where it's not intellectual? In other words, to see the truth, even though you're never going to understand it. Yeah? Intellect will tell you, of course. I want to, even though I will never understand it, I want to see what the truth is. Yeah? I want to see, I want to, you tell you, you'll never understand it. Do you want to see it? Says, I want to see it, even though I'll never understand it. Yeah? That's what intellect does. Yeah? This is where Chokhmah wants to go to the Ein. It wants to go. That's where it goes. This is the idea of Chokhmah. I want to go to a place where I don't understand. It doesn't make sense. And even after you show me, now I need to recreate it in my mind over here. Sometimes I will be able to, sometimes I will never be able to. I want to see, once I see it, maybe I'll understand it. But I want to see something that I am not. But you tell him, over there, what you see is not chokhmah. It's not intellect anymore. He says, I don't care. I want to see. I want to experience. This is the same idea. Chassidus. וזהו כלל בכל סטרא דקדושה. So here we have now a rule. This is a rule. You can use it millions and billions of times in your life, this rule. How do you know if you're doing something from the animal soul or from the godly soul? How do you know what motivates you? Many times we don't know. We think that we're doing a mitzvah because it's the godly soul telling us. And it's actually the animal soul telling us. And many times we're doing other things which against logic, which we're going to discuss soon, and we're going to think this is the animal soul. And you say, no, it's the godly soul who's telling it to you. And you're not aware. So how do you know? So this is the way to know. וזהו כלל בכל סטרא דקדושה. This is the rule of anything which is holy. By the word kadosh translates in English to holy. The word kadosh in Hebrew translates to muvdal, separated. It translates to separate. It's separated from your experience. It's not you anymore. That's what it means. It's separated from you. You have no concept of what it is. דקדושה שאינו אלא מה שנמשך מחוכמה שנקרא קודש. It says it is drawn down from the level of seeing the truth, חוכמה, that is called muvdal. You're seeing the world of Ein, not the world of Yesh in חוכמה. הבטל במציאות באור אין סוף ברוך הוא. It is completely nullified in the godly light, המלובש בו. ואינו דבר בפני עצמו. It's not something on its own, like we mentioned before. ולכן נקרא כוח מה. This is why חוכמה is called כוח, a power, מה. What is it? It doesn't exist in this world. It's a power that doesn't have an experience, a holding in this place. Usually what we call chokhmah is bina. What you think, most things that people think, this is chokhmah, I'm thinking about something. If you're thinking about something, this is called bina. It's not called chokhmah. Chokhmah is the spark that comes and gone a second later. It's not even a second. It comes and it disappears. That's chokhmah. It cannot dwell down here in this world. It's in a world above this. This is why you need bina in order to bring some kind of understanding with what you saw. Bina is taking the I don't know. There's an explanation. Chokhmah is this. if you're thinking about something, you don't understand it, all of a sudden you say, I got it.
You get an epiphany.
I get an epiphany, but then usually a second later, I ask, what did you get? He says, I don't know. I need to think about it. The process of thinking about what did you see, that's called bina. I don't think there's a word for it in English. I mean, you'll find it translated into English, but it's not the correct translation. ולכן נקרא כוח מה. This is why it's called כוח מה. והוא הפך ממש מבחינת הקליפה וסטרא אחרא. It is exactly the opposite from the klipa. And here what it is, what does it mean exactly the opposite? Chokhmah wants to be, your intellect wants not to be in order to understand something he doesn't understand. Yeah? In other words, because if he understands it the way he understands now, it means he doesn't understand the true self. So he tells himself, I don't want to be here. I don't want to have this understanding I have now. I don't want to be in order to go up there. Yeah? That's what is the difference between anything holy and anything unholy. Anything holy doesn't want to be. It wants God, not me. Anything not holy wants me, not God. That's the way it works. It's a simple rule. Every time, I'll give you an example. Every time you had an argument you cannot have an argument with the wife and it's a holy argument. Why? None of the sides can. Why? Because an argument, when you have an argument, each one wants to say why my intellect is right. That's what it wants. Argument means she says my intellect wants, I need my intellect to exist. And you saying, I don't like your intellect. I want the way I see things. I want my intellect to exist. Each one is crying, I want my intellect to exist. That's all, the whole argument. They don't want to. How does a sage look at this thing? How do you know if you look at it with the godly soul? The godly soul comes to the situation and it says, I don't care about your intellect. I don't care about my intellect. Couldn't care less what you think. Couldn't care less what I think. I care what God thinks. Not me, not you, him. What does he want? This is how you know something is holy. It's not what, I don't want me to exist. I don't want you to exist. I want an opinion that neither me nor you can contemplate. I want that to exist. Something that both me and you can't experience. That's what I want to exist. I want him, not us. והוא הפך ממש מבחינת הקליפות וסטרא אחרא. This is exactly the opposite of the klipa and sitra achra. And by the way, if I understand it, if I understand God's opinion, it's not God's opinion. I don't want this understanding. Because if I understand it, it means it's not God's opinion. God's opinion is infinite. So once I understood it, I don't want it now. You know what I want? I want something deeper than that. I want to go back to his opinion, not to my opinion. This is what Kedusha is. Kedusha is always separated. It's always, I want something that is not me, not something that is me. All the fights that we have in our lives with partners, we think, what are we doing? I want to experience myself, my way of thinking. I want that to exist more than I want your way of thinking to exist. So it's 100% of the fights we have in our life is got nothing to do with God. We want to exist. I want to take care of myself. I want to what about my family with my partner? What, my family doesn't need to eat? Only he needs to make the money? I don't need to make the money? This is the way it's screaming. And he's screaming the same thing. Yeah, that's going to be the fight always. With the wife, with the partner, with the friend. It's always, I want to exist. Over here, it says, I don't want to exist. I want to know what God says about this. What's his will, not what my will is. I want his opinion. And his opinion is deeper than ever I can experience. So this is what our animal soul wants to experience itself, to exist, to live, to be here. The godly soul wants not to be here, to be there with God. שממנה נפשות אומות העולם דאבדין לגרמיו. From there, the souls of the nations of the world, that the only things they do is for themselves, ve'amrin, and what do they say? Have. The animal soul wants one thing. Give me. That's it. But that's what have. The Zohar says, have, kalbin chatzafin. Have, you know who says have? Kelev chatzuf. How you say chutzpah? Everybody knows what chutzpah is. A dog with chutzpah. Yeah? What does a dog do? The sound of the dog does in Hebrew is have. Why he says he's a chutzpahdik dog? Because all he wants is give me. I want to become bigger. I want to exist more. I want not to sleep with one female dog. I want to sleep with 100 female dogs. So I'm going to have 100 sons. So I'm going to exist in the world much bigger than I exist today.
But on the other hand, Kelev means kulolev. So how if he's all heart, why he wants more and more?
That's what all heart is. All heart is. Heart is also for the desire. I'll give you an example. That a person will understand. When you say you love your wife, what do you love?
What she does for me.
What do you love about her? So I'll tell you exactly what. I'm not telling you personally. I'm telling you any person in the world. When you say I love my wife, you're saying I love certain qualities. I love kindness. I love beauty. I love neatness. I love something that smells good. I love all the things. So let's say you married somebody because she was kind, she was nice, she talked nicely, she was warm, she was funny, she was good looking.
Good cook.
She was a good cook and everything. All the reasons why you love her, you write down. You got married, and a second later, all those things are gone. She doesn't cook, she curses at you, she beats you up, she's not nice to the children, she talks nasty. She says, do you love her?
No.
So you say, did you ever love her?
No.
Who did you love? You loved yourself. She's going to give you good things. You like these good things that she gives. This is the way a dog loves you. A dog doesn't love you. You give him food, he loves you. Somebody else gives him food, they loves him. How do we know this? In Judaism, one of the most...
But it's deeper than that.
I'll give you the analogy deeper than that even. In Judaism, one of the most... just like in Arabic. In Arabic, when you want to swear at somebody, you don't say pig. You say kalb bin kalb. Kelev ben kelev. You say kalb bin kalb. You don't say pig. Pig is more disgusting than kelev. Why do you say dog? A dog, son of a bitch. That's what you say. It's an innocent thing. That's the worst. It's the worst thing, worse than a pig. How come? Because it comes from Cain and Hevel. Cain was Ish Adamah. Hevel was the shepherd. The shepherd had the most loyal dog in the world. And Hevel used to say, this dog loves me like no other creature can love a person. He will die for me. He will give his life for me. He will do everything for me. When Cain came and he wanted to kill Hevel, he was able to kill him. Not only did the dog did not stop Hevel, did not stop Cain from killing him, that wasn't the problem. The second later, he gave him food, And the dog became his greatest friend. This is what kalb ben kalb means. You show like you love me. All this love that you tell me means nothing. It's nothing. It's not love. It's all for yourself. Somebody else gives you food, all of a sudden you love it. In other words, you never loved me, Hevel said. You felt a feeling. When you feel you exist, it's not called kedusha. It's not called holiness. Holiness is when you don't feel, not when you do feel. Okay. What do they say? Have, give. I want to exist. I want to become bigger. I want to become stronger. I want to rule the entire world. Or like Esav said to Yaakov, Hal iteini min ha'edom hazeh. It says, pour it into me. It says, I don't even have the power to swallow. I just open my throat and you just stuff me. Stuff me with the thing. It says, why? I want to exist. I want to become bigger. Liyot yesh. I want to exist, to be something. Vedavar bifnei atzmo. Something that exists. Kanizkar lamala. I gave this example before. I like to think of myself as an intellectual person. I like intellectual things. I don't enjoy stupidities. Except if it comes to phone, electronics, I love that also. That's my, yeah. But regular stupidities, I don't much enjoy. Yeah, I enjoy intellectual things. One day, I remember I used to live across town. The government came in and they gave us new garbage cans. You know? And I'm coming back from a class in Hasidus, thinking deep inyonim, deep things about godliness, and I see this new garbage bin that I have. The old one had some scratches, working perfectly, but this one was new from the factory. I felt good. I felt, wow. It gave me pleasure. Why? I'm a yesh. My animal soul wants to exist. Before it existed with a broken garbage bag, and now it exists with a better guy. So I feel my existence just became better, bigger, because I own, even though I don't own it. They own it. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it's in my possession, a better thing. See, this is what it means. It comes from the animal soul. A person can say, I want to learn the entire Gemara. Why? Because how can you compare somebody who didn't learn a Gemara to somebody who did learn a Gemara? Now I own in me the entire Gemara. Where does that come from? Animal soul, 100%. Another person says, what does God want me to do? God wants me to learn and understand himself. And when he learns the entire Gemara, he feels, I didn't really understand the Gemara the way I'm supposed to. And he doesn't feel proud of it. He doesn't have a high from it. And that's Kedusha. See? It's two different things. Hefech prinat chokhmah. When you become bigger, this is the opposite of chokhmah. Chokhmah wants to go to a world where he doesn't understand. He doesn't want to exist in the world which he understands, because if he understands it the way I am, I don't need chokhmah. Chokhmah is something higher than me that I don't understand yet. Velachen, and this is why the animal soul and all those behaviors are nikraim metim. They're called death. Why? They're the opposite of godliness. God is the only living thing that there is. Everything which wants to exist is not God. Everything that doesn't want to exist is God. Fire is God. And this is why it says, coming back to Moshe over there, this is why it says, Ubacharta b'chaim. Choose life. Why does God need to tell us choose life? He doesn't need to tell you. Everybody would choose life. If you have life and death next to you, what are you going to choose? Life. Because people think that when they choose death, they become more alive, they become bigger. What is it? If I choose to become bigger, then that's my true life. I'll eat a lot of food, then that's my true life. I'll sleep with lots of women, I'll have a lot of children, that's true life. That's what they feel. And that's what God tells you, choose life. What's life? Choose not to be. Why did he choose the Jewish nation? Everybody knows, כי מעט אתם מכל העמים, because you are the fewest from all the nation, not because you're the greatest, because you're the fewest. What does that make you the fewest? You make yourself smaller, you're trying to become nothing, not you trying to become everything. You're trying to go back to me, not you trying to become existing more and more in this physical world. כי החוכמה תחיה. Where does life come from? From the level of chokhmah that is seeking something which is higher than my experience, something which is godliness. וכתיב, and it's written, ימותו. If something is going to reach death, לא בחוכמה. It cannot be through chokhmah. Chokhmah gives you life, because chokhmah looks for not existing, not for existing. וכן הרשעים ופושעי ישראל, and this is also true within the wicked and the Jewish criminals, קודם שבאו לידי ניסיון, before they came to the goy who oppressed them, and their neshama came out. We see all those people who always scream, I want me, I want banks, I want to become the greatest in the world, I want to become a Rothschild, I want to become this, I'm going to become this. All of a sudden, I don't believe in God, I don't care about God, nothing. All of a sudden, Hamas takes them into the tunnel, and the Jewish neshama comes up. Yeah? But before, a month before that, he was celebrating in Nova with mushrooms and with Buddhas. Yeah? The same guy. ניסיון לקדש השם, כי בחינת החוכמה שבנפש האלוקית, because they says, how is it possible? How does the neshama came out all of a sudden? So it tells you, because the aspect of chokhmah that is in the godly soul, im nitzotz elokut, with the spark of God in it, מאור אין סוף ברוך הוא, from the unlimited life of God, light of God, המלובש בה, that is dressed in it, הם בבחינת גלות בגופם, is exiled in their body. So it's true they have a godly soul, but the godly soul cannot express itself within their bodies. It's not able to manifest itself in any manner in the body, not in intellect, not in emotions, and not even in actions. The guy is doing everything wrong, everything against God. The spark of God that's in him is completely exiled in him. It's not felt. He doesn't talk to him. Unless there's a guy who stands with a gun in his head, then he jumps out. בנפש הבהמית המלובש בה, הם מבחינת גלות בגופם. It is exiled in the body. בנפש הבהמית מצד הקליפה שבכלל הסמיני שבלב. It is governed by the animal soul that wants to exist. That is in the left ventricle of the heart. המולכת ומושלת בגופם. That's the king over their body. We're on page 83. בסוד גלות השכינה. If you want to learn some more about this, this is called Galut Shechina. The Shechina is in exile. The godly presence is in exile within them. It is not expressed. It cannot come into being. ולכן נקראת אהבה זו בנפש האלוקית, and therefore this love in the godly soul, שרצונה וחפצה לדבק בהשם חיי החיים, that it wants to be attached to God, which is the life, הוא בשם אהבה מסותרת. That's why it's called hidden love. Hidden from whom? Hidden from you. You don't even know that it exists. The person would say, I don't believe in God. I don't have feelings toward God. God doesn't exist. It's completely hidden from him. He's got no experience. And we're going to learn how to take this hidden love. It looks like the fact that he tells us that I have it, says, I can ask the Alter Rebbe immediately, what do you want me to do with this information? It will come out once in a lifetime, if it will come out. I want to be a Beinani every day. How am I going to use it? This is chapter 24 and 25. We're just chapter 19. Okay? כי היא מסותרת, because this it is hidden, ומכוסה בלבוש שק דקליפה, and it is dressed in a shell, בפושעי ישראל, in the Jewish criminals, וממנה נכנס בהם רוח שטות לחטוא. And this is why throughout their lives, every day they do sins. They go against God constantly. כמאמר רז"ל, like the sages says, אין אדם חוטא, it says a person would not sin unless he has ברוח שטות, unless he becomes a fool. He fools himself. What's the fool? Why do you call it a fool, רוח שטות? Because you tell yourself that death is life. You tell yourself, I eat more, I'm going to live longer. I cheat and get a lot of money, I'm going to live longer. I be not only with my wife, but with his wife, I'm going to live longer. I get honor, everybody is going to bow down to me. That means I exist, that means I'm powerful. This is why it makes you a fool. You look at death as if it is life. This is why it's foolish. אלא שגלות הזה לבחינת חוכמה, אינו אלא לבחינת המתפשטת ממנה בנפש כולה. So it means this exiled soul cannot express itself in the physical body, not in intellect, nor in emotions, nor in actions. אבל שורש ועיקר של בחינת חוכמה שבנפש, but the source is there. The source is shouting. You don't hear it, but it's there. הוא במוחין, it is in the intellect. ואינה מתלבשת בלבוש שק דקליפה שבלב, בחלל השמאלי, בחינת גלות ממש. And it's not able to get dressed in emotions, in the emotions of the body, in the experience of the body. The body doesn't experience it. Just like us, we don't experience godliness. When we put on tefillin, we don't experience the greatness of tefillin. When we drink a Coke, we experience the sweetness of Coke. רק שהוא בבחינת שינה ברשעים. So what happens with the godly soul that is in us? It is sleeping within the wicked. ואינה פועלת פעולתה. It doesn't do its job. It's not capable. We don't permit it to enter the body. כל זמן שעסוקים בדעתם ובינתם בתאוות העולם. As long as the person is not caring about God, he's caring about his desires of the world. He wants death. He wants to exist more and more and more and more. But what happens? We talked about this person that we probably all know him. We probably all know this guy, to some extent or another, that this is Yom Kippur. And in the morning of Yom Kippur, he had some coffee and some bacon, and then he remembered, it's Yom Kippur. He saw something on television. He says, I have to go to shul, Yom Kippur. So he goes up to shul in Yom Kippur, and he sits in the back of the shul, and he argues with all the guys in the back in the shul. You guys believe it? God doesn't exist. God doesn't exist. God is not here. He said, but he's in shul. Yeah, why? So you ask him, why are you in shul? He tells you, I don't know. My father was in shul. My grandfather is in shul. I need to be in shul. Right? And then the rabbi calls him up for an aliyah in the Torah. And he comes up to aliyah in the Torah. He goes, Baruch. Right? When he says Baruch, the rabbi and the gabbai smells the bacon and the coffee on his breath. Right? And all of a sudden, a goy comes into the shul, puts a gun into his head, and tells him, here's a piece of bacon. Eat it. That guy that doesn't believe in God, argues with you that God doesn't exist, ate bacon today, plans to eat bacon tomorrow. He's saying, I'm not going to eat it. You ask him why. He says, I don't know why. I'm not going to eat it. Why are you not going to eat it? You ate bacon this morning. You're planning to eat bacon tomorrow. He says, I don't know. It comes out. I don't know why. You tell him, if you don't eat it, we'll kill your wife, your children, everybody. And you know what he's going to tell you? Lepi rov, like he said, hundreds of thousands of Jews said that. I can't do it. I can't eat the bacon. Kill my wife, kill my children. I'm not going to eat it. That is what we're talking about. The hidden love of God. He's not capable. Why? So you see, he has something in him. He has something in him that doesn't, it's not like he's thinking about it. There's no reason for it. Like we said, what is it? It's the nature of the godly soul. The nature of the physical soul wants to be. The nature of the godly soul wants godliness. אך כשבאים לידי ניסיון בדבר אמונה, when this guy comes into a trial when it comes to his belief, שהיא למעלה מהדעת, they tell him it doesn't make sense. You're going to eat bacon tomorrow. Why don't you eat bacon now? So I don't know why, I can't. ונגע עד הנפש, now all of a sudden the nefesh talks. Now all of a sudden the godly soul started to talk to him. לבחינת חוכמה שבה. In other words, he sees the not understood. He sees that world that cannot be understood. And that's why he cannot explain it. He can't explain it, but he sees it. He says, there's nothing I can do, I see it. אזי נאורה משנתה, then it is awakened, ופועלת פעולתה בכוח השם מלובש בה, and does its job. But his entire life, it's not there, and also by us. And it's not fair for the Alter Rebbe to tell me, hey, take it out. How am I supposed to take it out? I can't take it out. A guy needs to bring it out in me. Well, I'm going to tell myself, oh yeah, there's a gun over here, it's not going to work. Somebody needs to do it. I can't do it. So why are you telling me? We'll see later on. Why are you telling me this? וכמו שכתוב, like it's written, ויקץ כישן השם. It says that godly spark is like, it's like he was sleeping your entire life, and all of a sudden he woke up and said, here I am. Here. He was sleeping for all these years, and all of a sudden he said, here I am. Now I'm taking control. What happened? Where were you until now? I woke up. I wasn't here. What's going to happen to me tomorrow? I'm going to sleep again. But now I'm up. At this moment I'm up. לעמוד בניסיון באמונת השם, to stand in this trial in the belief of God, בלי שום טעם ודעת ושכל מושג להתגבר על הקליפות ותאוות עולם הזה. And no matter what you're going to give me, you're going to torture me, you're going to do this to me, all my future desires, I want to protect my wife and my kids. It doesn't matter what happens now. My wife and my kids, my Judaism, all my family is going to be gone. Means nothing to him. It doesn't want to be. It wants not to be. It wants to go back to God. ביתר ובאיסור שהורגל בהם למאוס בהם ולבחור לו, השם לחלקו. He says all of a sudden, choosing his son over God disgusts him. No, God comes first. Craziness. למסור לו נפשו, a person will be willing to give his soul על קדושת שמו, on the name of God. ואף, it says it doesn't make sense. Why not? כי הקליפות גברו עליו כל ימיו. The קליפות, the evil inclination was ruling his life for the last 60 years. Whatever, as long as he's old. ולא יכול להם, and he never was able to stand, he always sinned. כמאמר הז"ל שהרשעים ברשות ליבם, he always went after the desires. All of a sudden, what happened? You became religious? In 1 second, you became religious? What happened? מכל מקום, nevertheless, כשבא לידי ניסיון בדבר אמונה בהשם אחד, when his belief in the one God came around, שיסודתה בהררי קודש, that it is ingrained as a very important thing to the soul, היא בחינת חוכמה שבנפש האלוקית, it is the aspect of חוכמה in the godly soul, שבה מלובש אור אין סוף ברוך הוא, that this is dressed, in it dressed the infinite godly light, הרי כל הקליפות בטלים ומבטלים והיו כלא היו. All those desires he had his entire lives are as if they don't exist. All of a sudden he doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to exist.
How does it happen? Because pressure on him? Or?
Yeah, the pressure. Something brings it up. Somebody brings it up, yeah. How are you going to do this every day? I have no idea. ממש לפני השם, כדכתיב לקצביתן, כל הגאים כעין נגדו. It says all the power of the klipa, of the goyim, of the animal soul, it means nothing to him all of a sudden. וכתיב, כי הנה אויביך השם, כי הנה אויביך יאבדו יתפרדו. It says, look at your enemies, God. All your enemies are running away like... Until yesterday, whatever they told you, whatever your evil inclination told you, you went and did. All of a sudden, the evil inclination, he doesn't have. He became what? He became a tzaddik. The guy became a tzaddik in 1 second? What does it mean? וכתיב, כהמוס דונג מפני אשק. Just like wax gets melted when you put fire next to it. You don't have to do anything. Put fire next to wax, it's gone. You don't even have to fight. You just need to bring the fire close. You bring the godly soul close, you bring it up, everything, all the evil inclination goes away. It's not there anymore. וכתיב הרים כדונג נמסתו. It says all those desires, all these harim are going to be like wax disappear. והנה, page 50, והנה אור השם אור אין סוף ברוך הוא המלובש בחוכמה, the godly light that is dressed all of a sudden in his חוכמה, שבנפש גדול ועצום כוחו, it is so strong, לגרש ולטרות הסטרא אחלה והקליפות, to chase away all the evil inclination, שלא יוכלו יגעו אפילו בלבושיו, שמחשבה דיבור ומעשה. They're not able to dress up in the three garments, thought, speech and action. של אמונת השם, אחד. דהיינו, לעמוד בניסיון למסור נפשו. All of a sudden he's willing to die, אפילו שלא לעשות רק איזה מעשה לבד. Even not to do one deed. The guy told him, you know what? The goy, you know what? Don't eat the bacon. Don't eat it. Say you're Christian. Say, we all know you're joking. We all know you don't mean it. You don't mean it, I believe you, but just say it. Don't believe it in your heart. Don't think it in your mind. Just say it. If you don't say it, I'm going to kill your family. Just say it. And what's the guy going to tell you? I can't say it. What are you, stupid? I know. You know that you don't believe in it. Why can't you say it? Once the godly soul takes charge, look what happens. It's like a tzaddik. You're not even capable of saying it. The guy became a tzaddik in a second. Now, you know, many people ask the questions about the Tanya, why are we learning about a tzaddik? It's not us, we're a Beinoni. Now you understand why we're learning about a tzaddik. No, you are also a tzaddik. When? I don't know, once in life. But the fact that it comes out once in your life, what does it mean? That it's inside me. That I have it. That it is me.
You have the potential.
I have it there. Not just the potential. It comes out. It's coming. It's there. I can do it. Actually. Practically I can do it. It's not just potential. I can actually do it. I can see that I can do it. It's a practical application. That's why we're learning about a tzaddik. That's why we need this, the beginning of the Tanya, to understand this chapter right here. נגד אמונת השם אחד. כגון, for example, להשתחוות לעבודה זרה. We all know the famous story with Hannah and her sons. You know Hannah and her sons, the famous story that the Roman king told the sons to bow down to the idols, and they didn't want to. And she had 7 sons? 7 sons, and he went through the top one. The top one, he cut off his ears, cut off his nose, cut off his tongue, fried them, gave it to him, forced him to eat it, and then killed him. And then it says each next son was worse and worse and worse and worse. It says this was the best death, the top son. Yeah, it went until he got to a 3-year-old son, and he told the mother, "Look, I feel sorry. I can't. Even me, the governor says, I don't want to kill him. I don't want to kill him. It's your last son." He told her, "I don't want to kill him." He told her, "Please go tell him to bow down, so I don't have to kill him." So she went over to her son and she told him, "No matter what he tells you, do not bow down." The king, and he still didn't want to kill him. So what the king did to the son, he took his ring and he threw it on the floor, and he told the boy, "Pick it up. Don't bow down to me. Pick it up." And the boy told him, "I'm not even picking it up. Nothing. I'm not even going to pick it up. Even that I'm not going to do." This is the level of neshama that comes out. I'm not even going to say I'm Christian. Even though we all know I'm not believing in it. I'm not even going to bend down to pick something if there's going to be a cross over there. I'm not doing it. Nothing. It's not happening. I don't care you killed the whole family. I don't care you killed the whole Jewish nation. Does it make sense? No. That's the nature of the godly soul. It doesn't make sense. It's stupid. It's idiotic. What do you care? Bow down and your whole family is alive. Stupid. You're anyway going to eat bacon tomorrow. What are you doing? What kind of stupidity is this? Godly soul cannot do anything but. It's its nature. אף שאינו מאמין בכלל בליבו. Even though he has no desires whatsoever in this idol worship. וכן שלא לדבר טועה חס ושלום בקדושה. He cannot even say, "I don't believe in God." You know what? I'm not... In the back of the shul, this guy was screaming, "God doesn't exist. I don't believe in him." Say it now. You don't believe in God. It's the truth. You don't believe in him. No, I'm not going to say it now. Kill me and I'm not going to say it now. אף שאין פיו וליבו שווים. Even though we all know that you're just saying it in your mouth. You actually believe in it. Just say it. We don't care. רק ליבו שלם על השם, וזה נקרא, and now we understand, before we said, love of God is not enough to be a Beinoni. You also need to have awe of God to become a Beinoni. So now he tells us, וזה נקרא דחילו, this is what's called awe, הנכלל ברחימו, that is intertwined with love of God. שהיא אהבה טבעית שבנפש האלוקית שבכללות ישראל. This is the natural love that is in the godly soul, that is in the nature of all Jewish people. That godly soul, שחפצה ברצונה וטבעה, that what does it want? להידבק בשורשה ומקורה אור אינסוף ברוך הוא, to attach to godliness, שמפני אהבה זו ורצון זה, because it has such a fear not to be ever disattached to God, even for 1 second, it's not capable of doing it. It says, I'm not going to disattach. If I say something, I'm disattaching myself from God. I'm not willing to do it. יראה ומפחדת בטבעה. It is afraid by nature מנגוע בקצה טומאת עבודה זרה. To even pick up a ring next to a cross. שהיא נגד אמונת השם אחד, because this is against God. אפילו בלבושה חיצוניים, even if it's just in the action, in my heart, I'm true to God. שהם דיבור ומעשה, that it is speech or deed, בלי אמונה בלב כלל, even if it's not in my heart at all, I'm not going to do it. I'll rather my whole family die and me not do such a thing. Up to here. לחיים לחיים.